Hey gamers, it's Broken Couch. Joining us this evening, you may notice that we're missing two people. Well, that won't stay like that. Adam will be joining shortly. He's just running a little late. Piper, however, will not be joining us tonight. She had some crazy shit she's dealing.
Ha ha ha.
So
It's funny. It's funny because the sewage pipes busted in her apartment.
Is that what happened?
Yes.
Oh, fuck!
So she's busy.
she's a little occupied.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Just
reply
the
back to her and
boys.
say, oh shit.
Fucking asshole.
So yeah, she will not be joining us tonight, but that's okay. Yeah. So, what happened last session?
We did a lot of fucked up things.
Well, that was later on.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We took Adam through the fucked up things that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked to him about what we did in town this session prior.
Are we recapping the recap right now?
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to get meta. We gave Drac the gifts. I told
we
him
gave
about the
Drac his stuff.
potion. I told him about the potion, so he won't be fucked over by it. He still doesn't know about the fucking cold potion, though.
Nope.
He's gonna fall for it. Then we met up with Jairus and started talking to him.
Gave him the recommendations that we were talking about, and then told him the status of everything that has been happening.
Yes, you guys met up with Jairus and Alamir, who had brought your ship, the Empty Locata. Good God.
Now with a new name.
Now with a new name. Yeah, you guys hung up by the docks. The Blackgate Company came and joined once Jairus went in. It took Melifaro's body to basically preserve it until you guys are done with your work to hold a proper funeral for him. And also Alamir went to visit Butterscotch. But when everyone was back together, you guys departed on your ship. You were assigned roles, everyone. And Drac went fishing, in which he rolled a natural 20 and caught a blazing swordfish, which is a very rare apex predator in the region. And you guys, continuing to roll incredibly well, managed to kill it and then prepare and cook it, all flawlessly, including getting the skeleton and several of the important organs for it. And you guys christened your ship. Is it the Crimson Marlin? Is that what we're rolling with?
Yeah.
Okay. The Crimson Marlin is the new name for the Empty Locata. And you guys got Alamir to forge the shape the wood for the figurehead to be that of the Marlin's skull. You're muted, Jack.
And now we can ram people.
Yes.
Yes, he did add a metal coating to the wood to make it more durable, so you can ram people with it. Yeah, you guys enjoyed the Marlin, went to sleep. Kelfor and Drac, we won't talk about Arati, stayed up. And late at night noticed a ship in the distance approaching, which Kelfor recognized as a notable band of pirates, the Fiddlebacks. Not wasting any time, everyone got to their stations, had Alamir use control weather to change the winds in your favor, rolled up on their block. Ivanov used the dyslexic pen to create a fire hall, totally gutting their ship, putting it under the stressed condition in a single round, which is essentially bloodied.
For a ship.
Yeah. Though has more mechanical effects than bloodied. But and then the powder barrels, the gunpowder barrels exploded, and then you guys opened cannon fire on them.
3 hours.
Yeah, and prevented them from even taking a turn. To which Kelfor, as captain, decided to sink them. And while they were sinking, you spoke to the captain of the Fiddlebacks, Gertie Stormscale. And while pleading for her life and crying, revealed some interesting information that apparently at least a portion of Kelfor's old fleet is here in the Northern Sea. And so, with that information, they gave Gertie and I believe it was 3 remaining crew members of the Fiddlebacks, one of the lifeboats, and sent them on their way.
We're not monsters.
Well,
Sure.
we're not totally heartless.
And, I mean, Lyra's only about a day out, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, did
anyways.
21 other people die?
It's, it happens. It's just good business.
Oopsies.
It's just good business.
But yeah, and Kelfor, receiving this information, figured that pretty apt. Figured that the proverbial cat was out of the bag, and decided to come clean about his unexpected past as a pirate.
You're a pirate!
No one knew for the
No one
longest time.
knew.
You guys suck. Come on.
He and Nevia both are parts of the Red Scarves, which are I mean, Emmy probably wouldn't know them, but Drac may have Adam roll like a history check when he comes in, but Ivanov certainly knows them. They're
Welcome, buddy.
they're basically a thieves guild on the water. They're a massive organization, world spanning. Thief pirate market. And Kelfor is part of that. And he explains how he was sent to join the Slayers Guild in the first place in order to get close to a man named Ansem, who
Motherfucker.
is a ship contact or a Slayer's contact in Heisei, in Shenwu, who you guys are supposed to meet there. So Kelfar came clean about that, so you guys are aware going in that the entire reason that you guys know Kelfor is because he is supposed to kill that guy for his job. So you guys can all brainstorm about possible ways to
Get him out of the mafia.
either get Ansem or Kelfor and Nevia out of the mafia's reach. We having sunk the ship of the Fiddlebacks, you guys all went to bed and still have a few days of travel left until you reach Ciala. Are you guys wanting to do anything in particular during those travel days?
I guess Kelfor would just want to like kind of go over more like training on like whenever we do see a ship.
Yeah.
Maybe like do signify thing like 2 rings means like it's a size 2 ship or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they can kind of expect what's happening.
Yeah. Just standard drills and procedures for the crew to actually understand what is happening at any given time. Which, it's one for just attention or wake up, 2 for something of note, 3 for enemy, the spell for lunch.
Thank you. I was looking to see if any of my Discord servers had that noise.
We need to add that. That's a necessity. So yeah, you guys just you and Nevia work together to kind of just familiarize the crew better with just standard seafaring stuff, which will be relevant for because all three of your stops are water based, so you guys will be on this ship for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, cool. Let me. So yeah, Ivan, are you wanting to do anything in particular?
I probably just make the rounds, ask Kelfor if there's anything in particular that needs done from my position. Ivanoth is not super used to ship faring.
This is a brand new ship, right? So like maintenance
It
on it
is.
doesn't need to be like I shouldn't have to worry about barnacles or anything on the underneath of the ship.
Not at the moment, no.
Cool.
Uh,
Um. Well,
and also not in these waters.
nah. Oh yeah, true.
It's cold
Because
as
it's in
fuck.
the Arctic.
Yeah. Throughout the days, you guys are like it just gets colder and colder. You guys spend more and more time on the lower deck, only having to go on the upper deck when you need to. Because yeah, after a couple days, it's consistently below freezing,
Mm-hmm.
which Kelfor, you work with Nevia and Olimir and the riggers to navigate, but im- important to note for you is that the waters around Ciala are tundra waters. They're, for one, extremely cold.
Mm-hmm.
So even going into the water temporarily, not really an option. Like, Emmy may be able to, but that's just because she can breathe underwater and she has cold resistance.
Mm-hmm.
No one else really could. Like, we're we're past the Titanic. We're north of the Titanic here. Like we're entering the Arctic Circle.
Okay.
Um,
So I'm assuming like if people can't be on the ship for that long for piloting the ship, making sure it goes through, is there any icebergs we have to worry about or anything?
More and more, that is becoming something of note. You make a survival check. I'll say with Olimir's help with advantage.
I was gonna see if like maybe Ivanov can help like melt a side of an iceberg if we get too close or something with his fire.
Absolutely, yeah. You
Oh,
guys
I've
have a
got
lot
it.
of you guys have a lot of fire, so that is a good thing for you.
Nat 20.
Hell yeah.
Real
It was,
quick, is it the next day from the?
Uh,
it would be,
yeah.
right?
Okay,
Uh, I'd say it's probably the day after next. You guys are probably one day out from Ciala at the
gotcha.
moment.
Just want to make sure for my spell slots.
Yeah. Um, so Kelfor, as you're approaching, or like going through the sea toward Ciala, it's getting more and more of an ice flow. It's thankfully you're coming off of summer,
Cool.
but that has the downside of you're not in like the heat of summer anymore, so
Mm-hmm.
you're starting to get more ice. But thankfully, with although this is unfamiliar to you of having to deal with ice on the sea, you're able to avoid ice flows which are horrifying.
Mhm.
And you also gain a solid understanding of how to navigate ice flows. Without Alamir's help, maybe a bit tougher, but you're able to learn it to where you feel comfortable enough that if you were to run combat in these waters, you would not get any disadvantages to sailing checks.
Oh, let's fucking go!
Um,
I sail so well.
so yeah, you're able to reach some kind of agreement with the ruthless ocean. But you have heard horror stories from some of the more northern scarves that it's bad up here. I mean, ice flow is just converging to completely, basically, beach a ship just in ice, just miles of ice.
Can't have shit in the Ciala Triangle.
That's true.
Can't have shit in this
There kind
godforsaken
of is a triangle there, actually.
That's
Like Ciala to Arteria and Elira. That's kind of.
Ooh.
You don't want to know what happens there.
There is a fucking ley line around here, so
Yeah, there is. Yeah, from the map, the point of the ley line is kind of just like west of that little island chain below Ciala.
okay.
So you guys will be passing pretty close by it. But yeah, so crew prepared, captain familiar with these waters now, at least enough. The next day, on September 10th, which is a Tuesday,
Oh, let's go.
Wait, which day is it?
September 10th.
Only one
Hey.
day out.
Why does
That's true.
Ciala have those two big towers?
Surely nothing will happen to them. Uh, uh, one mage for each tower. um, but you guys arrive at Ciala, and it is an overcast day as you reach port, and the entire world around you is just gray. And, like grays and whites. It feels like you are in a black and white movie.
Yep, that looks about right.
There is snow and ice. You reach a shore that goes back and up. It seems that the town of Ciala is made in like the small valley section of this large mountain chain that covers a lot of the land here. This this really does feel like the end of nowhere. you see just this small, like, fishing hamlet that is built of dark wood, like pine wood, and as you guys dock, make perception checks.
I'm going to pursue the fuck out of this area.
I'm not.
18.
3.
18. It's pretty low for Kelfor.
I rolled a 4.
Um,
I don't have bonus
I'll
to
roll.
perception, so.
I'll roll for Emmy and Drac as well. Okay. Drac, not paying much attention. Emmy though, got a 19 on the dice. So, Kelfor, you look around the area. Ivanov, you're reminded a bit too much of home to really focus on anything in particular. Make Kelfor I guess a general intelligence check.
Me? Okay.
Yeah. Good God.
I'm so
So-
fucking intelligent.
You are in your element.
That's true.
I forgot I need to get some ranger in my character.
Honestly, for you, it'd probably help.
It's honestly, yeah. So, Kelfor, you're looking around and you see just life is happening here. There you see kind of one old dock that seemed to be like the dock for the town.
Yeah.
You see that there are newer docks that have been added sort of off to the side of this small town. There that have been added by your estimation in the last probably about 6 months.
Okay.
And parked there, docked there, are several smaller naval vessels and one decently sized one. It's probably a I'd say it's a frigate. You don't see the ship of the line here. However, you do see a sort of modified for the cold weather cigarette boat that you know is used for fast movement, and it's fairly large for a cigarette boat, but you look around and you see a lot of blue coats throughout town, which are naval uniforms. And you don't see the vice admiral or the unmaker out here, but on a nat 20, you have a feeling that the ship is on its way without its crew. That the majority of them are already here.
Okay. So I can kind of surmise that like she didn't take a lot of her crew. She probably came from Ciela.
Yes.
Cool.
Well, she probably took her maybe a bit less of her crew. But it seems like probably with this cigarette boat, she got a sending out to her this detachment here and had them come pick up at least the necessary like higher ranking crew, her and the Unmaker, and brought them back here. And the rest are on their way to here, taking the slow route
Okay.
with the damaged ship. So yeah,
So I just kind of want to make sure. Do I think the Unmaker and Captain Gwen? Do I think they're both here right now or no?
you you think probably.
Okay. That completely guts my idea of, hey, let's try to get the people to just take over the Navy and wear Navy outfits and just welcome them.
Um, you well, there is still, converting people against the Navy is still certainly an idea.
Mm,
You just may have to be a bit more discreet about it. However, a naval captain without their ship is a lot less scary than one with their ship.
hmm
Because you see a lot of the other ships are generally meant for transport, like cargo, personnel, stuff like that. A lot of you take this ship to go out and meet someone because you don't want to meet people here. Like you don't want to invite guests to Ciala because it is not a very inhabitable place.
All right.
And so there seems to be not a ton of firepower on these ships. You think the frigate is probably the most dangerous at the moment. But looking at it, with her ship of the line, like her flagship, a a broadside bombardment could probably level this town. So at the moment, she does not have a nuclear option.
Cool. Cool. I'm immediately gonna. Is there, is there like, I would ask Nevia possibly if she knew if there was like a secret port or somewhere maybe that we might be able to.
I think so. My my father was a fisherman. Oh, where was that? She's like scanning the shores, trying to. It's cocked. Okay. Let's sail around there. I think there's an alcove that way. And you follow her instruction to you sail for a short distance. There's sort of an outcropping of like a mountain going down into the water, and you see as you circle around it, a small little alcove that has a couple of small boats in it. Very clearly nothing belonging to the Navy here.
Okay, cool. um, I'll go ahead as we're like trying to like find a way to pull in and talk to everyone and be like, I think the goal is going to be trying to evacuate everyone, right? Because it seems like we have a chance to get everyone out of like the line of fire.
We could, yes.
Or getting the Vice Admiral and the Unmaker out to open water or something of the sort.
Hmm.
But I agree, separating the people from the Navy is a good idea.
We could probably see if there's any resistance here. Maybe any underground little guys.
I'm sure there is, but when I left, there were only about 40 people in town. So,
Does it look like it got bigger the last time you were here?
I'd have to look again, but maybe a bit.
They have an Arby's.
If anything, that's a sign that a town is dying.
Didn't even get the Taco Bell.
Damn.
Chick-fil-A say fucked us.
I don't think Chick-fil-A would come here. This isn't a very human settlement, and you know how they are with non-human races.
You sounded so matter-of-factly building lore on that.
Yeah. It's a
No,
it's
if Chick-fil-A
it's an
were going to
institution.
go anywhere, they'd go to Arteria.
Oh yeah, they love Arteria.
Well, that's why I thought like maybe they would want to like expand a little bit, but
No.
that's fair.
But yeah.
Alright.
So you're able to find a place to land. Avia says, "We'll look around. It looked like there were a few newer houses. I'm just worried that those are Navy built, like naval garrisons."
It will be also a good idea. I know first time bringing it up. Is to hide the red gemstone stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For safety, should I hide my my staff?
Yeah, I would.
I can take the sphere off. It is separate.
It's like Legos.
Hopper closes his mouth like, "Oh."
I'm not. I don't want to do that to you, Hopper. You don't have to. You don't have to. I also do need to hold it. That is my arcane focus.
So you're
I just take it off of the mithril rod.
okay. Thankfully, mithril, one of its properties is that it is temperature resistant, so you won't get your hand frozen to your walking stick.
I was gonna say I don't know if that even matters at this point because my blood is so hot.
That does help.
Yeah.
Having dragon fire in your blood helps, but
But yeah.
yeah. Speaking of,
Actually, for safety, Hopper, if you wouldn't mind, would you want to hold on to at least the rod? Okay. You're a good lad. You're the best of us all, Hopper.
Hopper is not gonna hibernate, we swear.
he does look a bit drowsy.
It's okay. You take a nap if you need to, buddy.
Thankfully, he is from pretty far north. Not this far north, but he's used to cold weather. Same with Emmy and Ivanov, Nevia. Ares is like, I fucking hate this place already.
It's not pleasant, is it?
I need to buy a coat.
I have my old robe if you want to use it. Yeah, I hand her my old robe, which was literally built to resist the cold.
Yeah. Uh, uh, yeah. Zormir and Jojir also not having a great time being from the desert.
I'm also not having a good time.
Zormir wearing
You're at
a
least having a little
notably,
bit of a better time.
Zormir wearing a notably sleeveless coat.
Buddy.
It's like, I really should have thought ahead. Thankfully, he's tiefling, so he has a similar sort of fire blood that helps a bit. Jojir, not having a good time.
No.
She's an elf. That's
That bitch dead.
Decidedly not your area.
yeah. It you guys arrive probably around midday. It You'll be lucky if by the warmest time of the day it cracks 10 degrees.
Poggers.
Don't even want to think about the wind chill. So, you guys dock the ship in this alcove and get what supplies you need. And disembark as you arrive proper on Ciala. You guys are still in this alcove. What do you want to? How do you want to approach this?
All right. So, to run through, we know that the ship of the line is currently not here.
Yes.
They do still have a lot of Navy people, and we think the Unmaker and Gwen are both here. Cool. Great. So you want to just go ahead and start running in? I'm kidding.
Shake and bake.
Shake and bake.
Shake and bake. Let us go ahead. I think what a really good idea is to find out exactly what's going on with the town and see how they are responding to the Navy to see if there even is a resistance.
Yeah. Cool. So, you guys walk into this town. And you would like to make perception checks.
Uh,
7.
22.
Okay. Kilfor, you note that you're kind of keeping a count in your head as you guys are walking through town that by your count there is more naval people here than citizens. If you had to make a rough estimate just on the people you've seen, houses, things like that, You'd say there's probably 50-ish people here, citizens. There's probably 60 to 70 Navy here.
Cool. That sounds
Yeah.
that sounds great. Love that.
Distressing.
Well, it probably means the. So that's around what Nevia said there was before.
She said there were like 40 something when she was growing up, like around when she left. So it's grown a bit. You know, maybe some kids got had and some grew up. I mean, it's been a long time since she has been here.
Yeah. And Goliath's, because that was around like what, almost 20 years now.
Pushing it, yeah.
Goliaths live as long as humans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
at least.
same lifespan.
Right. The same lifespan. Yeah. Yeah. Right around human lifespan.
Cool. I think I'll ask Nevia then to see, being like, hey, the person that you knew who had resistance against, the Navy's presence here, do you know where they might be at?
Well, before we didn't really have much naval presence here. We're so far north and so small. I would have one or two just to make sure to help deal with like shipping disputes.
Mm-hmm.
This is abnormal.
I mean, it seems like it's almost like a full military town.
Yeah. By your estimation, there is a full detachment here.
Yeah.
Says, well, maybe if Brayton's still around, he might know something.
What was the name?
Brayton. Brayton.
Did Brayton have a good standing with the community?
Yeah, he was one of the few sort of dedicated town guards. So people respect his viewpoint, and he helped end a lot of disputes before they started.
Okay.
So,
I think we should probably find him then.
Let's see. She points toward this small inn that's here in town. Run down, old, not a lot of travelers here. It's a better place than any to start. So you guys enter the walk into the inn, and as you do, make some perception checks.
Let's
And
keep
Nebula
on
will go.
perceiving.
Will I look?
Okay.
Use my eyes. 11.
27.
27.
I've gone up in increments of 4.
It's only going up from here on.
I'll say I've enough looking around. You see a lot of people dressed. There seems to be a just sort of standard dress here. Probably because there's probably only one to five garment makers here in town. There seems to be sort of a style. But you notice that most of the people you've seen here in town have been either Goliaths or Tieflings, interestingly. You've seen a couple humans around. They have a presence because they're like weeds. They get everywhere.
I prefer the turb infestation.
But notably, among the sort of standard fashion of the town, you see in the bar a notable exception to that rule. You see a guy, blonde hair, kind of swept back. He has some like face paint. He is shirtless, and on his lower half, you see he is wearing a sort of shingled armor and a hakama and obi. And you see he has two katana at his hip.
No shirt?
No shirt.
That is, yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah. And
Is it only one katana or two?
It's two.
it is two. It seems to be a
It's one of the big ones and the smaller ones.
yeah. It seems to be a daito and a wakizashi.
Cool. Do we see a katana in his mouth?
Not quite.
I wasn't even thinking that route. I was thinking of Yojimbo.
Let's give you a similar vibe.
I was gonna be like a little bit coy with it and be like, "How big is his chest?"
Is he wearing a bandana like me? I know you said blonde hair. Does he have green hair?
Green hair.
Are you sure you did not misspeak?
A big, I don't know, kissable scar on his chest.
Give me something.
Give me something.
You also see, I don't know if your eyes are kind of distracted by him.
Very interesting man.
Kelfor, you see a man sat at the bar, just like reading a book, and he seems to be wearing a sort of naval coat, but he is certainly not in uniform. It looks like this guy is also a tiefling. It looks like he either stole a naval officer's coat, or he is just maybe acting like he's Navy to maybe get them off his back. Who knows?
But I can tell
Yeah.
he's not natural Navy.
Visibly not Navy.
Well,
Um, also, um, I'll send references in chat.
Oh,
There's the samurai.
I was not too far off at all.
Yeah. And then this is the gentleman you see in the naval coat.
I have a question, by the way.
Uh-huh.
In this world, are tieflings the one where like their feet are almost hoof-like, or
No.
No, they're
Cool.
more. Yeah, they're more human-like.
that I can't really disguise myself then?
Yeah.
Like maybe.
At this point in the evolutionary tree, they're so interbred with material plane races that they have lost the noted cloven nature. Most tieflings don't have tails anymore. It tends to just be skin, horns, teeth, and eyes that are the notable tiefling points.
Okay.
And even then, a lot of tieflings, especially here in Arteria, where the sun never shines, you're going to see a distinct lack of melanin here.
Some pale ass tieflings.
Yeah. And also, Jarrus, he just has a naturally sort of human skin tone. A bit orange,
Yeah,
but
these are tieflings that come from the cold circle of hell.
yeah, they're coming from the Ninth Circle for sure. But you see two other people in the bar, and I'm going to have you make a history check at disadvantage.
Both of
Cool.
us.
You could make one as well, yeah.
Okay. Yes,
I'm not
okay.
even gonna roll the second time it was in that one.
I got a 14.
14. I don't know if you see two people sat at one of the tables in this little bar. Kelfor, you are just appreciating warming your hands by the fire in the center.
I thought you were gonna say you were appreciating the beautiful form of this man with the blonde hair.
Appreciating the chiseled abs.
I'm keeping my hands warm next to his abs.
Wow.
Can you turn down the heat a little bit? Jesus.
But you do see these two people. You don't pay them much mind, Kelfor, but I don't know if you're looking at them, getting a read, and you swear they look familiar. And as you're looking at them, you see hopping up from the floor and like up onto the bench and then up onto the man's shoulder is a huge golden eagle.
That is okay. That's not where I expected that to go. I was expecting Waldwin the Colossus. I thought some of our friends were going to be here.
No.
Okay, a golden eagle.
And
Does sound familiar.
the eagle triggers something in your mind where way back in the competition,
That's like the area I'm trying to think of.
there was one company of two people who were wearing notably Cialan garb and had a golden eagle.
I don't think we ever really talked to them, did we?
I don't think you did.
Does
But you're able to remember. You saw them after the first round. You don't remember seeing them after the second round.
Harry out in session 2. I have notes. There's a man with a golden eagle. That's the only notes I
That's
have.
all he's got.
Is that near the
Literal
time?
footnote.
Is that note adjacent to the man that Drac took the loot from and busted it in half?
There's a man with a golden eagle. Meet up a place is Park Walk. Ancient dwarven guy noticed Cattery, who was kidnapped. A bunch of people disappeared and not disappeared the same night. So maybe.
Oh, that was. I remember what you mean with the broken loot.
Yeah.
That was in your first contract. So that was
That's
that was the
right,
first
okay.
round. So
I
you would have
do-
seen them right around the same time.
I do vaguely remember these artworks specifically.
Yeah, I
don't
think I showed them.
I don't think we interacted with them at all.
No, we did
You
not.
did. I really think they were just set dressing.
Oh,
at the
yeah, I'm
time.
pretty sure that was set dressing, 'cause I
Um,
believe that was the time we came back from the first contract.
I think so. That sounds right.
Yeah, because I think that's when you were describing everyone in the bar.
Yes. But yeah, you remember seeing them then, but you don't remember seeing them going into the third round.
Gotcha.
So you assume they didn't finish their contracts, had to withdraw for whatever reason during round 2.
So we know they suck at their jobs and we should not hire them.
But
Not
you know
necessarily.
that these were people who were attempting to enter the Slayers Guild. So that is a common ground that you could potentially use to
Strike up a
keep them
conversation.
over.
I think,
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Yeah, are they... So it's these two and the two people mentioned before. Are they the only people in here? Because I know this place is, like, run down.
Yes. Other than the bartender, that this is it. And you can see the bartender. She's seemingly one of the few humans that you've seen.
Gotcha.
Wearing a sort of shawl and patchwork leggings on her dress. She just kind of nods to you guys as you enter. Say if you'd like to, you can make an insight check on her.
Gotcha. Oh, he made it!
There he is. There's the boy.
Insight check, you said?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Hello?
Nat 20!
Nat 20.
Hey, bud.
One of the first things you see as you enter the bar is she from behind the counter you see the handle of a flintlock. She goes to pick it up. She sees that you guys aren't Navy and sets it down.
At seeing that, I just give her a nod and just a subtle, like, thumbs up. And before I do go and sit down to the two people from Lind that we saw, I would actually order a coffee.
Okay.
Just to
She'll
get something.
she'll nod to you and start brewing that. Adam, to catch you up real quick.
We're
you guys-
fucking dead.
Yeah, we died.
fucking dead.
Just Drac walks back in with the pizza box and
Andy is hyperventilating and won't stop.
You guys arrived in Ciala. You found a sort of alcove to dock in that was away from the sort of Navy docks. It seemed to be sort of a hidden local fishing dock that Nevia remembered from when she was a kid. But you guys arrived. As you did, Kelfor saw that the ship that you guys fought is not here. However, you see, he saw a cigarette boat, like a speedboat, essentially,
Okay.
that is used for transport, like quick transport, and noticed a notable amount of people, of Navy people here. So
Mm.
you entered the town under the assumption that while the ship is not here, Gwendolyn and the Unmaker are here. You have not confirmed that yet, but you are going under that assumption. But you guys are currently looking for sympathetic anti-naval people. And you went to the small rundown bar in town.
Okay.
And inside the bar were a shirtless samurai.
I'm guessing
look at
it's
the D&D
these
chat,
guys right here. Yeah.
The people that I have sent images of are the people in the bar. The last one being the bartender, the other four being patrons.
Oh, they're cool.
And the two prior, like the two that I sent together,
Yeah.
Ivanoth recognized them in what we were just discussing is a total footnote from season 1, is that those two competed in the Slayers Guild competition.
Oh, that's cool.
They're back, bigger.
Jack wrote
Jack
down
found-
someone
Jack
had a
found a
golden
note.
eagle.
Jack found a note of this. Some guy has a golden eagle, all the way back from like session 3, probably.
Yeah, that was like session
Oh
3.
gosh, which one was he?
The
Other
one with
than
the
the
one with
eagle.
eagle.
But
we didn't
I'm
talk
trying
to
to
him. We didn't
remember
talk
fighting
to him.
style.
You guys
Okay.
never talked to them.
Huh.
Yeah,
It was
it
was literally
That's
set
cool.
dressing.
Yeah, they were available to talk to.
Just didn't have a lot of time.
I think James was right, where I think I brought them up when you guys got back after fighting Garrel, the doctor,
Oh yeah.
as like if you wanted to mingle more with other companies that were in the competition, they were one of them that you could have talked to. But you guys just never did. There were a lot of them, so you guys never talked to them, but Ivanoth was able to remember them from that, based on the giant golden eagle and the notable clothing. And Ivanoth saw them after round 1, did not see them after round 2. So presumably they did not make it past round 2.
So they're bad at their jobs, and we're not talking to them.
Yeah.
I'm fucking talking to them.
No, I'll talk to him. Hey, guess who made it to the semifinals?
Losers.
I would straight up just smack you if you did that. That's so rude.
Unless it's with the stick, I'm not gonna feel it.
So yeah, Ivanoth, you wanted to go and talk
Oh.
to the two.
Yes.
Cool. You approach them, and they both look over from their conversation and regard you kindly, and then the man says, "King, please," and it goes. The bird does.
I smile and respectfully return the gesture to the eagle. They say king?
King, yes.
Gotcha. Is it okay if I sit here?
By all means.
I take a seat and nod to them and say, sorry, me and my group just happened to be passing through Ciala and could have swore I recognized you two from somewhere. Were you in Lind a couple months back?
They kind of look at each other. Say, yes, we were. We were attending a competition to join the prestigious guild.
Fucking fail.
I thought that was correct. Apologies. We've been quite busy, and any familiar face at all at this point is quite welcome and accepted.
Familiar faces are always welcome sight.
But yes, we were in the same competition as you all were, and frankly, we wanted to see what the situation is about this town. If y'all had any idea, we just stopped in. Sorry, my name is Ivanoth, by the way.
The woman will shake your hand and say, I am Anya.
Anya.
And the gentleman will go to offer a hand to shake, but he has a falconer's glove on, and he was perched on it. Yes. I am Zavras. This is King.
Very nice to meet you, Zavras, Anya, King.
Anya will speak up to this. Strange situation in town. It is, for no real reason we can understand. We come home from long travel of Slayer's Guild, and the town is overrun with navy. We asked around. It's said there was pirate presence in the city, but I don't think anyone believes that. We've had no issues with pirates local. No ships attacked, and they've been here for almost 6 months now. Yes.
I was about to ask, because one of our compatriots is also from this town, and she explained to us that they used to be only about 1 or 2 Navy men that were here at most.
See, yes, that's how it was, but well, we got back 5 months ago or so. I'm not actually sure how long they were there prior to us. We were gone for quite a long time in travel.
It's a good ways out. I'm actually not too far from here myself. I'm from Alteria, so.
Oh, sorry.
Tell me about it. That's what everyone says to me when I say that.
We may be the far end of nowhere, at least we're not the ass end.
God, if that's not the most accurate thing I've heard all day.
You said you had a companion from here, and he kind of looks over the people. Says, do not recognize any friends.
Well, she
Quite all right.
hasn't been here in quite a while herself, so.
That may do it. So what are... You said you were passing through. No one passes through Ciala. What are you doing here? Here on the job?
Yes, we actually have a contract from the Slayers Guild.
Oh,
We
you
are.
guys made it.
Yes, after a lot of strenuous trials.
Yeah.
We understand. We were not able to complete the last contract in time for the second round of combat. It was
At least you guys made it.
Yeah.
long tracking mission. Needle in a haystack sort of deal. Weren't able to complete all three in time.
Swear. I mean, it's a hard enough task for a big enough group to find something like that, but commend a group of two and a very stout eagle for attempting.
Yes, we're proud of how far we came. Wish we got further, of course. Being a part of the Slayers Guild could potentially be a boon to the town. That's why we first left.
Very fair. But yes, we're currently on the hunt for a decent-sized group of rogue mages. Two of which we may have reason to suspect they are here in town.
And one of them might be a Navy bitch.
Well, the Navy.
Well, that one for us was only a recent discovery as well.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck with the Navy, as they have a stranglehold on this town. As for the other, are you talking about the one in the mountains? Or
One in the mountain. What do you mean?
Could potentially. Do you have any descriptor of what they look like? Or any rumor at all?
he comes down every 6 months or so. Just an old guy who never really. Well, he doesn't really change. We see him once or twice a year, every year, and ever since we were little kids, he's never really changed much. The dress is very nice, but no one really knows anything about him. He keeps to himself, cordial when people come down. But an old hermit.
And when
We
you
just
say...
know
Apologies, when you say old, you mean like looks old?
No, but feels old, if that makes sense.
Huh.
Didn't happen to have long flowing black hair, did he? Or not longish, but sort of a medium off to the side?
No, it's... The most striking thing about him was the red eyes.
Red eyes.
Aranor didn't have red eyes, did he?
He did.
He did? Okay. Interesting.
Oh no.
You never happened to catch a name from him, did you?
No, he's very private. Keeps to himself.
Does
Again, he comes down for a day to spend a bunch of gold to restock his wherever he lives up in the mountains, and he's kind, tips well to the store owners.
Save
If
the
someone
puppy.
if someone greets him, he greets them back.
Got a
and
cat from a tree?
then he goes back to his home. And nothing really strange.
It does fit the bill of one we've encountered before, but that's not currently who we're investigating.
But I think that could be really.
Having that information could definitely help, though.
Yeah.
He also might be racist, so he's not that cool.
What?
What?
Don't pay attention.
He says hi to. He says good morning to some people, and then he just.
Looks
No.
at other people.
Greets all the Goliaths and then walks past Tiefling like,
So,
We literally have red eyes too. It's okay.
you're one of us. Don't you ever.
You guys make perception checks real quick.
Okay.
Will do.
DC like 10. Nothing too.
I'm fine.
Ooh.
Yeah, I figured.
You said perception?
I got a 13.
I got a dirty 20.
6.
6. Drac, you're taken by this hint of this person who maybe Aranor has a base here of some kind. Ivanov and Kelfor, you guys notice that the gentleman in the naval coat, who's at the bar reading a book, Ivanov, you can tell when someone is not actually reading.
Mm-hmm.
Kelfor, you can tell when someone's eavesdropping.
I messaged to Kelfor. You might want to grab their attention at the bar. Either you or you and Drag both.
So this guy, do many people visit him often? I'm continuing on because I have no idea.
You're right.
I'm
I'll
not
go
gonna
ahead
make a
and
big stink of them eavesdropping because I can tell they're not a real Navy person.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm
They're
still
not a
being-
real Navy person.
I'm still being somewhat sussy.
Kelfor, what did you get on that perception roll?
Dirty 20.
20. You can tell that he seemed to really start paying attention when you said you were hunting mages, and one of them may be one of the Navy.
Feeling up on that one and like kind of like taking that hit in. Can I respond to your message, by the way?
Yes. Yeah, you're freely able to talk back.
I'll just reply back that
I've
being
opted
like,
to just keep an open channel, so
yeah, just let you know that like really interested that one of the Navy people might be a bad mage we might have hunt, so might have a little hook to sink in to someone who might want to hate
Rise
the
up.
Navy. Rise up!
Rise up!
dangerous.
Here he comes. Here comes the general.
Remember when we fought Vikings up in the north? Now we're taking out the real issues. All right. I'll go ahead and
Frankly speaking, Kelfor, you are aligned with the Northern Vikings.
Yeah, actually,
Essentially,
you would be more on their side.
the red snow pretty much
Well-
fits that description.
In this universe.
Yeah,
Yeah, in the other universe, they are not aligned.
not cool, not gamers.
they do not sit at
You
the.
got feeble-minded.
Feeble-minded.
People.
Screw that anti-magic crystal. You're feeble-minded.
You suck my dick, I chuck that thing into the ocean.
King Odvar.
Diamond, threw him in a chest and dropped that to the bottom of the ocean. Yeah.
I'll go ahead and as like Ivanov and them are talking, I'm gonna like do a quick little elbow hit to Drac, and go. Hey, let's go up to the front of the bar and talk about how much we hate the Navy.
Yeah. Alright. And I just
I do message. Maybe don't be too loud about it. We don't want to immediately pick a fight with the Navy. Just in case there are any prying eyes or ears.
Why not? I'd love to.
I just want to get like, because the bartender is the guy with the two swords, right? With the hot abs.
No, that's just a
No.
patron. The
patron.
bartender... Yeah, the bartender is the most recent scent.
Yeah, the human woman in the shawl is the bartender.
That pointed a gun at Ivanov immediately and was
No,
gonna shoot him.
she was pulling a... No, she did not point. She pulled a flintlock.
He basically just saw the handle of it appear behind the bar and
And
then she
then-
tell you guys weren't wearing blue uniforms and put it back.
Cool.
So wait, if there's a guy in a Navy uniform, wouldn't...
He is
Hmm.
wearing a Navy coat. He is visibly not
Mhm.
Navy.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. We did miss that detail.
Right,
That is
yeah.
not a full Navy outfit. It is just the coat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be really funny if we were like, yeah, let's go ahead and take this to the front. And then we see the bartender just right to the back of the dude's head.
But I would like to talk to the bartender a little bit more because I feel like they would probably know a little bit more of like how people are feeling about the Navy.
Yeah, for sure.
And then like that talk right there might get the other guy to be like, you guys are based. Red pill even.
PogChamp, dare I say.
Charles the quality cheese, might I even.
Hmm. But if he's not Pog with it,
We shoot him.
well, yeah. I'm gonna eat him.
So you guys go up to the bar. What are you saying to casually attract attention of anti-naval sentiments?
Your lead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and I quote, for a town that we came out of the way trying to get away from things, there's a lot more Navy here than I ever thought there'd be.
You see the guy reading glance up. Goes, no kidding.
Yeah, it's almost like they're trying to make a military outpost out here.
Trying to. I already have.
This is the guy with the coat at this point.
Yeah. The guy with the like feather hat.
Hmm. Yeah, it definitely looks like it. Nice coat, by the way.
Thanks. I took it off a naval officer I killed.
When?
A
How?
couple years ago. I was running a transport between here and Arteria. They some little naval vessel pulled us, stopped us to do an inspection, and we were carrying some how you say explicit goods. So we
As
shot
you do.
them.
Yeah. As you do.
And I needed a new coat.
That's the best. That's the best.
Yeah?
I mean, why buy a coat if you can just get one for free?
That's what I'm
You
saying.
could just take them.
This coat was the cost of a basketball. Not that bad.
That's
I
only a
got
couple
more
of
basketballs.
And you do see not a lot of the people you've seen in town are armed. He does have a longsword on him.
So the only two that we've seen armed are the people all in here, because she had a flintlock, he has a sword, but outside we didn't see anyone armed.
Other than the samurai guy, yeah, that's really all you've seen so far of
Cool.
people with weaponry.
Alright.
Are they holding back you guys holding weapons here? Should we be worried about that?
They don't have any rules about it per se, but it's been noticed by locals that those who carry weapons tend to get stopped more for random inspection.
I assume you welcome it.
Of course.
Hell yeah.
I've got nothing to hide, officer.
Good.
Plus, if at this point, if you're still carrying a weapon, a lot of the how do you say when there's morons in the navy, if you're
Navy man.
if you're still carrying a weapon at this point in their occupation, then surely you have nothing to hide. It's hiding in plain sight, as it were.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
I get
which,
that.
spoken about the Navy, kind of have a rough encounter with the Navy recently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know how the chain in the Navy works?
I familiar enough.
So you know how vice admirals are pretty high up there, right?
Given that one is currently running our town, I'm quite familiar with vice admirals.
Isn't that weird, by the way? Why a vice admiral is out here in the middle
Yeah.
of Ciala just taking a town over?
That's what we said.
Yeah, speaking of which vice admiral is actually
It's,
When?
running the Gwyn?
what's her name? Short hair, real bitchy. The bartender speaks up. He says, Gwendolyn Vestra.
Happy.
Ivanov does make a mental note.
Got it.
Yeah, she kind of really made an impression with us recently.
She tends to do that, but how'd she do it with you guys?
Actually, before we go into our long and detailed story, I'd like to hear your experience with her, if you don't mind.
Well, came in, looks to the bartender. 8, 9 months ago, something like that. Set up an outpost. Came in and started building. Didn't ask any of us. They started ordering us around, doing such. And when we rightly asked, hey, what the fuck are you doing in our home? They said, well, we're setting up an outpost. Something about pirates. It's bullshit. I'm the only pirate here. You didn't hear
Yeah, no, never.
that. But they setting up some bullshit excuses to set up an outpost here. We don't know why they're setting up here. There's fucking nothing here.
Do you see them send ships out in a certain direction every day trying to find something usually?
Not every day, but every so often they try to keep a mental note of comings and goings of them, seeing when it's safe to sail out and come back in. Typically around the end of each month, it slows down a bit here. They seems like they have some sort of job they go off on, but other than that, it's quiet. Well,
Yeah.
during that time, it's quiet. Currently, it's bullshit. It's came at a rough time. It's
Yeah,
peak blue coat season.
we don't see the ship of the line out there either.
Thank God.
When's the last time you guys saw it in town?
Mm, 2 weeks ago, thereabouts. Wait, let me think.
Okay. So the ship actually never got here. Good. I'd say that out of character.
Well, actually, it's probably been about 3 weeks now that I think about it.
Been out of port for a while, huh?
Yeah, it's been nice. It makes actually sailing a lot easier. Doesn't scare as many fish off for all the old folk who still fish around here.
Yeah, you bet. I mean, what we caught the other day, I mean, you wouldn't believe it.
Oh, what'd you catch?
Well, you see, what was it called again? It was a magma sailfish,
blazing swordfish.
blazing swordfish.
No shit.
Yep.
You guys should take up angling. I don't know what you're doing now, hunting admiral, but fuck.
It's a nice hobby. It's a nice hobby. That's all I can say. I much prefer what I do right now as my full time.
I quite enjoy a good fishing trip every now and again, but I agree, it's not a full-time thing. But if you're looking to sell that, either here or Arteria, they would pay money for that.
Nice.
Yeah. Tasted great.
Oh, I know.
But
Once,
sorry.
I
Yeah.
once raided a navy ship south of Arteria. They had just caught one recently in a big sailing net, and we took it as a prize. One of the best things I've ever eaten.
Nice.
God, I want fish right now.
I'm sorry to get us off topic. Kind of back to the Navy, real quick. I know we hate going back to, but there's a man that we've been hearing about. Man with red eyes, old man comes down from the mountain. Has he had anything to do with the Navy at all?
Not that I've seen. Actually, he looks over and there's like a little calendar. He says, "He should have come down by now. Usually he comes down every 6 months or so on the dot, but I don't think he's come down ever since the Navy arrived."
How long ago did we fight, Aranor?
More than 6 months, right?
Oh no.
That,
Pushing 2 months probably.
Ooh. Wait.
What was the
Okay.
time frame you gave me last session, Matt? When I
For
was
what?
when I was talking to Nevia, how long we've been in the Slayers Guild together, or Ares?
6 months?
It's been about 6 months.
Yeah, sounds about right.
The competition ended in March. It's currently September.
Sounds about right.
Because of us. There can be no other explanation. No. Anyway. Interesting.
Yeah, we haven't seen him in a while. I hope he's doing all right. It was nice. He reaches up to the feather on it in his hat. He says, "He gave me this when I was a kid." I ran up, talked to him. I was quite a lively child, and he didn't say much, but he gave me the feather, and I quite liked it.
Do you generally know what direction he lived in?
Yeah.
Well, if you go up, that's a pretty good way.
Has anyone tried to visit him?
Yeah. There used to be how do you say, like a schoolyard there, as it were, to go up into the mountains to his little cave home, and that kind of stopped after he
Killed
after he killed the
300
last
kids.
group that went. Well, we assume he killed them. They never came back down, that's for damn sure. Maybe they just died in the mountain, that's possible. But, you know, kids, you go up to the big scary wizard house. You
die.
just assume he killed them.
Okay.
I do want to take like a mental note of where he said where to go through the mountains, like where like they would go, because might be a good
Yeah.
idea to check his old base.
Yeah.
There's an old, probably very visible at this point. There's an old trail somewhere leading up into the mountains that you could take up to his place. At least that's where he came from every time. I've never been up there myself.
That may be one of the next things we have to check out once we kind of get our bearings of the place. But yeah, cool. Thank you for that insight.
Thank you so much for that insight and for sharing so much information with us. We really hate that Vice Admiral so much we fucked up their ship, so you guys might not be seeing it for a bit.
Yeah, our backstory with her, we only like saw her for like a couple minutes, and everything was terrible.
Yeah, it sounds like her.
Do you guys want anything to change with, the Navy being up here?
Are you saying like,
Yes. Very much so, I am.
well, I know I'd be interested. I bet Abra would as well, isn't that right? He looks over to the barkeeper. She says, I wouldn't be opposed if some radical change came to town. Because Abra here, her husband, he was one of our best fishers here in town. Great guy. He picked a fight with one of the Navy guys. Never saw him again.
I tell you what, guys, I'm starting to like this town more and more. I'm sorry to hear about the husband.
Very sorry to hear about that.
I'm not the only one. I imprison anyone who speaks too loud. And some people, my husband, just vanish. Never come back. They only do it at certain times. It's near the end of each month,
Motherfucker.
it seems like some of the Navy get more aggressive, as if they're provoking someone to pick a fight, and then they cart them off to God knows where.
Do you think this could have any connection with the old man on the mountain?
She looks over and she says, hard to say, but he's come in for a drink a few times before, and he's always been quiet, but a bit off-putting, but kind. So, I don't know. I hope not. He's a bit of an urban legend here. But
So no Navy folk have gone up to...
if I have, we haven't seen them. I don't know if anyone's really mentioned it to the Navy yet. So, could be a well-kept secret, that guy.
We can do the same thing we did with the Black Dragon. Lure the Navy up there. They all die.
That would be funny.
Old man, like, it's like, all right, go ahead, Navy men, just gather around the children. I got. Hold on.
Well, if you're looking to cause some trouble for the Navy, I'll shake both of your hands. Name's Sigmund.
Sigmund. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Sig. Oh fuck. Well, we might be doing something soon.
It probably won't be immediate, but be ready.
And also, might be a good idea for anyone who does not want to be involved, maybe leave so they don't have, a ship on the line aiming at the town if something happens.
Be discreet as you spread the word, though.
Yeah.
I have my ways. I'll spread the word.
Also, it would, we're gonna try to make sure we can take down the Vice Admiral. For good.
We got a score to settle.
For me. I'm probably here.
Well, happy.
All right, time to take off the anti-capitalist mask, anti-authority mask. All right, now we have to love the Navy. Let's switch it back.
No.
I don't think I will.
That was the test, and you passed.
That was a test and you passed. No.
Real quick, I would actually like to ask the people I'm talking to something.
Absolutely.
Just out of curiosity, has there been any either rumors or strange happening of people disappearing?
Well, there have been people disappearing, but I mean, we just assume it's the Navy getting rid of dissenters. So,
Has there been any pattern or something to it?
none that we can track. I mean, it happens, but I don't know. We'd have to think about it, talk to people, make a ledger of everyone who went missing.
Gotcha. That's part of the calling card we've been chasing for these rogue mages. They have a habit of performing rituals amongst the town. Usually, it's usually 8 instances for a ritual circle, right?
It's 10.
It's 10. Okay, I thought it was 10. I'm trying to see if it was misremembering, but
Yeah, it's 10.
okay. About 10 or so
10
people.
rituals. Each ritual is 10 rituals.
Yeah. Usually around 10 or so strange occurrences or people being hurt or even worse. And they complete some sort of ritual. To what end, we don't know, but I have a sinking suspicion the Navy might be in on that.
That would be bad.
Yes, and hopefully we'll try to prevent it while we're here, but...
So, the Slayers Guild is investigating these rituals, and the Navy, specifically the Navy here, are killing people for rituals. Following so far.
Yes. Specifically, the Vice Admiral.
Okay. Is there anything we could do to help?
guess more so any information you might have, let one of us know. But also, I would be prepared in the midst of, I don't want to say uprising, but something adjacent to help kick these people out of your town.
Will not turn down an uprising. I don't think many people here in town would.
And obviously, people who aren't able to fight and do not wish to fight or believe they do not have the strength to fight, we should protect them, or at least tell them maybe to take a little trip for a while.
Indeed.
So I guess the best thing you could do to help keep an ear out.
Well, if you need any discreet messages sent, he motions to King. Is gonna help out with that.
And I message to all three of them, King included. I have a way to do that too, so no worries.
Well. But, if you're looking for, people who may be interested in, helping, there's been I would go swing by the Sidorov household.
Sidorov.
Yeah, there's three of them. Ligoria, Marvari, and Relius. They've been doing some quiet investigating of the Navy themselves, so maybe we could compare notes.
I think that would probably be the next best step. Well, I very much appreciate your all's company, and good to see you all made it back home safe and sound.
Yes. If you ever need to warm up or want to talk again, we spend a lot of our time here.
Very well.
Also, actually to Calfor and Drac, April, the bartender, she'll say, if you're looking for a place to coordinate any efforts against the Navy, this place is safe to you and any allies of yours.
Well, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it.
Least I can do.
We'll make sure that they'll feel something.
Oh, I think this is gonna be fun.
I think this is the start of a beautiful relationship.
uh,
All right. I guess we'll go ahead and reconvene and go, guys, it's okay. A lot of people hate authority.
let's start anarchy. Anyway.
Not right now!
Immediate. No. Anyways. Yeah. Whenever we do meet back up, I'll probably just kind of make sure no one's within earshot and just kind of. Okay. So we got some pretty decent leads. Do we want to like stay in town a little bit longer, see if we can find the vice admiral first before we go on these leads, or like what do you think?
The thing I'm thinking of is currently the ship of the line is not here. And I don't know how much longer it's going to be until the ship gets here. But when that ship's here, it's going to be a lot more difficult to handle both of them.
Right.
By your estimate, Kelfor,
Mm-hmm.
it's currently Tuesday. The
Damn it.
ship of the line will probably be in by Friday.
How much damage we did to that rudder, they're definitely behind schedule.
Yeah.
Hopefully that can give us enough of an edge.
I mean, if we have that many days to spare, I feel like we can do as much investigating as we need. Try to set up and plan.
Well, part of me wonders, like, do we need to go ahead and just start weakening the naval forces that we have here already and wait to ambush them here?
Maybe replace. Hold on, I think I had a plan like this. Maybe we have all of the people on our side slowly take over the Navy outfits and everything, so whenever the ship of the line comes back in, we just wreck the whole ship.
Have an entire town on our side.
Have the entire fortress aimed at the ship. Because I'm assuming the fortress has, like, towers, right? Like,
There's not really a fortress here.
Oh.
It's more of an outpost.
Yeah, it's what the Navy built when they came in is basically like a longhouse, like just a sort of center of operations. Yeah, there's not much defenses here. There are a couple like tide breakers on the rocks, like on the rocks of the shore, but that's about it. This isn't exactly a place you would really seek to attack, just because there's such little here. So they haven't really
Why? Oh,
had much need for building like walls or ramparts or anything of the sort.
Cool. So if the ship does get back and they're like, oh, we think the town took over the Navy base, they could just blow up the entire town and be fine.
Pretty much, yeah.
Cool.
but that's the thing. If they suspected that the town got turned over and we did what we did, then they would totally blow us up. But if they didn't realize that, if we're acting like everything's normal, and then as soon as they dock and start loading everything off, then we ambush, that may be the right time. I don't know about you guys, but
It's
I feel like
it's either that or we would have to take out what we can before the ship were to come back.
Is there any way we can... This is going to sound crazy, but is there any possible way from looking at where the boat would come in the ship of the line? Is there any way with magic that we have to currently, like, maybe beach that ship?
Feasibly. I mean, with Almir here, that's reasonable.
well, we have Olimir. Do we know the capabilities of the pair in the bar? Olga and Zai.
Anya
What
and
was
Zafras.
Anya and Zavros.
Anya and Zavros.
Anya and Zavros? Okay.
Looking at them,
And King. King could probably drop... King can drop the pebble on the ship.
King's got a wish.
Zavros seems to be a ranger of some sort, and Anya seems to... You don't see a weapon on her, but she seems to be more muscular, like something martial, you would assume.
Okay.
Yeah, from what I've seen, there's a lot of rogue and warrior types in this town. So.
I wonder
Yeah, a
if
lot
it.
of the casters tend to be drawn to Arteria, if anywhere, or Lyra. You're literally in between two of the bigger mage places here, so.
Yeah. Honestly, that could really work for our advantage if they are tired of everything going on with the Navy.
Well, I bet them seeing a broken down ship come back also is gonna probably raise some spirits, being like, "Oh, they're a little bit weak and defenseless."
and people from the Slayers Guild actively, like, you know, taking on people from the Navy that are full on corrupt. Yeah,
That
I think that would give some hope, hopefully.
on that note, we should probably look into not necessarily disguising ourselves.
But maybe
yeah, I
not
guess
be-
disguising ourselves, but because she knows what we look like.
Yeah.
We were very
Well-
up close and personal for a good bit of time.
Well, a lot of people out here bundle up, so we can kind of wear a lot of layers most of
I
the
don't think any form of bundling up is going to hide my form. I may have to be hidden by the time that they actually get here.
I also, with my lanky body, in a sense, like
Well, we could
with my
put a
feet.
lot of bundles on you. You just have to
Yeah.
learn to tolerate boots for a couple days.
Gonna
Yeah, I
walk
think
with
you would
my
be
head.
fine.
It is,
I think
unfortunately, Drac is the one I'm worried about.
Yeah.
And to an extent, well, Emmy, we could still put a bunch of coats on her and be fine. But
I mean, I could go and just try to figure out what the deal is with the old man while you guys deal with the town.
Well, if you do that,
It'd
I
be a
don't want
great
you to
idea.
go by yourself.
you're not. No, you are not going by yourself to Aranor's cave.
I'll be fine. It'll be fine. Yeah, listen.
I think I remember last
It's-
time, like one of our barbarians went out to a cave by themselves and it almost got eaten by a fucking purple worm or something. Do I
Oh
remember
God,
that
when
correctly?
was that?
Oh,
Wow.
damn.
Oh, Dan, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
We crashed our fucking ship, or our ship was at a boat, and we were trying to heat up, and he was like, "I'm gonna go out to this cave."
Yep. Oh, I remember that.
I mean, you're not going by yourself in the end.
Also,
I mean, with it being more of a schoolyard there, I mean, okay,
Also, we could split up in 2 teams, though. Hmm?
maybe.
Because there
be
is an
very
actual
careful.
time limit here that we have.
What day is it?
Tuesday. The ship will be back here on Friday.
Yeah, we need to get moving.
So I don't think splitting up is a bad idea. I think going by yourself is a bad idea.
Okay. No, yeah, I'm fine with going with a few people.
Because we also have, you know, the Blackgate Company with us as well. We have a lot of people currently with us.
No, this way. Why?
Sarah.
You currently have 10 people
Don't
total.
shush me.
So,
I wasn't shushing. Hold on.
yeah, you currently have 10 people.
Yeah, so I mean, 5-5's not bad.
If we are splitting up into 2, I would like to also go to Aranor's cave. I would like to use the Eye of the Past.
Yeah.
Not bad. Alright, so Drac and Ivan off to the cave. I am good at looking at things. I don't know if maybe I need to go to the cave. My perception.
I'm good at investigation.
Good.
And I would not just be taking a look. I'd be combing through everything.
If there is something that, because what would the other group be doing?
I guess like we were told, you were told to talk to the Sedora household.
Yeah. Because you guys could split up to where you guys like Crimson Mayhem goes to the cave, and then Blackgate and Alamir go talk to them.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a possibility.
I think that's not a bad idea. But because we do currently have the pirate guy, which we never got his name, I don't think.
No, we didn't.
But we do have
Which
Abriel,
one?
the bartender, the pirate.
Featherhead guy.
Oh, you did. Sigmund.
Sigmund. Okay, yeah, my bad.
The only one we didn't get a name for is the samurai.
Yeah. Because you guys haven't talked to him yet.
One of you guys could talk to him too. Because it seems like he's going to be trying to get, like, seeing who he can get ready for meeting up with the Navy, or trying to start something. So maybe we have a little bit more time for us to go to that one. Yeah. Why are we going to the Siddoria household, by the way? What do they have investigation on? Just the Navy, or?
They are like low-key investigating the Navy.
Okay.
So they may have some information on their movings, potentially the missing people, stuff like that.
So whatever updates that, if we did go with the Blackgate Company going into the town and figuring all this stuff out, we would need to keep in contact with them via sending.
And good thing I have 10 musket balls with the fucking gallium in it, just in case we run into the Unmaker.
Yeah, we may need to spread that.
The sending stone as well.
Yeah, we still have the sending stone.
Yeah, we got the sending stone. You can
Doing
probably...
spell slots on it. Yeah, Kelfor has the galleon bullets and Arati does. So both of you have, both teams would have.
Oh, perfect.
Bullets.
Cool.
Yeah, we're good there. So I think it's not a bad idea. Do we want to talk to this samurai guy before we head out? Because he is kind of hot.
Yes, I want to talk to him.
Let Drake talk to him.
Yeah, I think Drake
Before we get too deep in the weeds on that, I want to pull out the map of where all the rituals are and see if we are in currently marked zone for one.
we are. It's out in the sea.
It's in the sea.
It's in the sea.
Yeah, if you're looking at the map, that small island chain south of Ciala, it's like in the sea west of there.
Gotcha.
Like not too far offshore.
How far would that be from here?
By ship, 50 to 100 miles.
Okay.
Depending on where in the circle area it is.
Okay. So if we can at least make sure the Admiral's here, a ritual will not be complete. Because I have a very good feeling that's what she's doing.
That's true.
Yeah. Maybe that should be our second objective, is to find out where she is.
Yeah.
We could just try to locate where she is at.
Yeah, we could. I mean, we know that she's here.
So I guess would it be better for us to go ahead and take care of her before we go to that Aranor's place?
Well, if we go after her now, we'll have the entire Navy outpost that's here on our back.
I think it may be a good job for the Blackgate Company to kind of get that espionage in, not only with that house, but also to keep an eye out for the Vice Admiral.
For investigating, for sneaking, for gathering information, the Blackgate Company is actually excellent for that.
Cool.
Because Arati was a scout and sniper. Zormir has a political background, so he's really good at talking. And Jojir is the daughter of a guard captain, and so they all have a lot of survival and charismatic skills. So
I definitely think we should not focus, at least for today, on trying to take down the Admiral just yet.
Okay.
I think
locating is one thing, but taking her down, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I just want location more than anything.
And I think the Blackgate Company definitely may have their job cut out for them on that end, but at the same time, I think they can do it, right? Just looking over to them.
I was like, come on, man, we got it.
Especially
Just need to gather some information. That's easy peasy.
and
I just need to buy a coat first.
That's very true. You might want to try to find that. But also, having Aranor here at your back, I think would be very beneficial. Or Olimir, sorry.
Olimir.
Yeah. Okay.
Their names are right next to each other in my head.
If Aranor's on our side, I mean, hey.
Hey guys, I got better.
I got better.
There's like, yeah, I can help with any arcane stuff.
Especially with Animancy.
We'll need that.
Yeah, Animancy.
Yeah, and he is particularly knowledgeable about Animancy, so.
Alright.
Well,
Alright.
yes,
Alright, Drac, go rub up that samurai's abs.
What's he doing currently?
Putting oil on his abs.
He's currently washing clothes on his abs. No.
He's currently grinding meat on it.
You're not getting a deep scrub. Hold on, I've got mine.
No, he seems to just be eating a meal, having some lunch, warming up probably. As you approach him, you do see he's a big guy, like tall, broad. Make a nature check. Anyone can for this.
I would like to actually.
9.
17.
Drac, that's a big dude. Ivanov.
He's protein.
What are we rolling again?
Nature.
Oh, you guys know I know it. 3.
Galfor, that's a big dude.
Holy fuck!
Ivanov, you seeing the like sort of war paint on him, his size, but also his skin tone's more flush. You assume probably half Goliath.
Can I? I'm gonna guess the other half is Tiefling.
It is possible.
Yeah.
You approach him, and he regards you.
I nod back. Sorry to interrupt your meal.
It's fine.
How long have you been here?
Eating
I mean,
lunch.
just in the bar.
He's not wearing a watch. Hour or so.
You a local?
Kinda.
Let's see.
Riveting conversation.
Drac, make a history check.
8. Yeah, 8.
I'll give you advantage on it. This is something you'd be aware of.
-1 on the low end.
Well,
So 8. So 8. I rolled a nat 1.
Ivanov could as well.
Please do it.
Yes, I'll help you.
Please clap.
Okay, that'll do it. 26.
Not a high DC on this one.
Well, high enough that he can't make it.
Man, that -2 is rough.
It is. Ivanov, you know that back after the second Ishiku Rebellion, back like 20-something years ago, as sort of a gesture of peace, the Lind sent envoys, merchants, things such as to Shinwu, to help with their economy, things such as sort of bring them into the more global market. And in reply, Shinwu offered basically a group of samurai as protectors, and
Accurate.
they were disseminated to all of the towns inland. You guys met the one in Tarj. It was a young woman. She was an archer.
I remember that.
Drac, even you would remember the
Thank God.
the one you the one that was there when you were growing up. His name was Osser. And he was this huge tiefling dude who
some called him Asur the Wrathful.
And you remember looking up to him quite a bit because he was incredibly powerful. And wanting him to train you and like teach you how to fight.
Classic weeaboo kid.
He did a bit.
Showed me a little bit, and I didn't really pay attention to the detail. I just heard
didn't pick up on the
strike.
technique really.
I heard strike, and that was about it.
But yeah, and you learned while you were in Tarj that he had effectively retired. He was an older guy. He was a veteran from the first Ishiku Rebellion, which was a very long time ago. Let me double check. Yeah, the first Ishiku Rebellion ended 35 years ago, and he was a veteran of that. So, older guy.
Yeah.
Or actually, I'm sorry, I misspoke. That whole treatise thing started after the first one, not the second one. That was my mistake. But so, Drek, you remember this this guy, Osser, that you trained with, and this guy kind of reminds you of him. Ivanov, you remember, Arteria had these guys as well, where they were essentially vassals from Shenwu, whose mission, like whose duty was protect this town that you were assigned to with your life. Like keep it safe from invaders, keep it safe from threats, help where you need to, things like that. They're service positions. And this guy seems to be that for Ciala.
Classic samurai shit.
Yeah.
So I see this is your town.
That's right.
How long have you been here?
6 years. Was nice and quiet. Ain't anymore.
I'm guessing you're talking about the Navy.
Damn right.
So I'm assuming you're not the biggest fan. I knew I liked you.
I think you'd be pretty hard pressed to find anyone here who likes the Navy.
Yeah.
Except the Navy.
Maybe,
I'm still looking for him.
maybe a shopkeeper too whose business is doing well because of the doubling in town
Fucking
size. But
sell out!
Where?
Point me to the direction of them.
as well, if they do feel that way, they haven't said it out loud.
I get you.
So
Well, I don't know how much of the conversations you picked up kind of over here. Yeah. So I assume that we can hopefully count on you.
if you need a distraction, talk to Sigmund. But if you need work to get done and people to die, come to me.
There will be plenty of that to happen.
As long as it's the Navy and not my people.
I can promise you that.
Good.
What was your name?
Vargas.
Drac.
Predator.
Badass.
the two quiet big guys.
That's how it goes.
Having the most efficient conversation.
That's how it goes.
I hang out here quite a bit. So if you need
Seems
me,
like the... Yeah.
yeah, you can generally find most people here at some certain times a day. It's pretty much the only restaurant in town.
Alright. Well, more than likely keep an eye out for King. He'll probably be our liaison while we're gone from the town.
The bird.
Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of messages and sending.
I see.
We're going up the mountain.
We used falcons in the Shin army, so I'm familiar with the tactics.
Good deal. We've got till Friday.
Friday. Good to know.
Alright.
Ooh, Friday's
Enjoy your meal.
me.
Have a glass yourself.
Maybe once this is done. And I'd walk off. That was so cool! Did I do all right, guys?
Weeb out in high say.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
I do, before we leave, I do leave 7 gold for the bartender for being very gracious.
Thank you.
Anytime. You all stay safe out here.
Come back. We don't have many rooms, but if you need a place to stay.
I think we'll plan on that.
Thank you.
Of course. Cool. So, you guys head out. Where are y'all going next?
Alright, Mayhem, let's get shit done. Let's go to the trail.
Okay. You guys split up with the Blackgate Company. All of them are going with them. And they're heading to the Sidorov house, and also just general sort of intelligence gathering. You guys head up to the back edge of town, and you look around and make either perception or survival checks.
19.
Survival or what checks?
Survival or perception?
27.
Yep.
19.
Cool.
Sorry.
Okay.
You're good, bud.
Here, I'm just gonna roll 13.
Okay. Draco, the snow is throwing you off. You're used to tracking through like woodland, brush, like forest, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
having a foot of snow on the ground is really messing things up for you. I don't know if you are much more familiar. You're able to find sort of a break in the trees, and Kelfor, you go over and upon examining, you see you're able to clear some of the snow and find that it's an old footpath going up into the mountains. So you guys head up. As you guys are going, go ahead and give me a group survival check.
14.
17.
14.
14? Okay. Let me roll for the others. Oh, that's cocked. Okay. So, Ares also pretty lost. Similar to Drac.
She didn't get advantage?
She is from the plains.
Oh, Ares, sorry.
Ares.
Keep mixing those two names up.
Emmy, surprisingly good. You know, she's laterally pretty close to home.
Nice.
And so similar environments generally. Emmy lives essentially in the floodplains of a similar mountain range. So she's able to navigate pretty well. Nevia did not even need advantage. She got a nat 20.
That's what I fucking figured.
Groovy.
So, she is taking the lead. It's like, I used to play in these mountains, but I never went up to see that old mage. I was always too scared to.
Actually, that brings up a point, Nevia. Did you ever see the mage?
Yeah,
Is he
Whenever
not? Is it not Aranor?
it didn't look like him.
And it didn't feel like his aura anything.
I mean, it was a long time ago, but
I didn't want to press because I knew it was also quite a bit ago, but
thinking about it, they felt similar. Now that I think, maybe he was disguising himself. I don't know.
it's very possible.
He was. I remember he was very prim and proper, very quiet. I never spoke to him, but my father was a carpenter. He bought an old table or an old desk from him once. So I saw him then, and he was nice. He gave me a smile, but he was a bit scary. Just aura, you know.
Does any of this sound like Aranor though? Buying a desk, buying
Well,
this.
I
If he's wanting to blend in, definitely, but
From you guys talking to him, I mean, he was pretty cordial to all of you.
I was gonna say
Before he murdered your friends, but
I was gonna say I'm not sure how all of your conversations went, but he and I had I at least had an understanding with him, and however much I did disagree with him in the end. But
Yeah, more than I wanted to.
he never struck me as the person who was evilly malicious, more so malicious to his own fault.
Yeah.
So I guess it does check out. But why?
Yeah, he's really, from what you've known of him, he's really not the guy to just like treat anyone poorly for no reason. You know, like even when you guys fought him, he was very clear in saying like, I don't hold this against you for standing up for your beliefs.
Yeah.
Just know that I'm also standing up for mine. So doesn't sound dissimilar to him.
Guys, if this really is what we're thinking it is, you know what we're walking into at this point.
I mean,
And we don't have the backup that we had before.
I don't think he's gonna be here though.
I have a very strong feeling he's not here.
They said he hadn't been here in months, or been down to town in months.
Hell, if anything, we'd catch him right now, walking down.
Well, not since we started our journey with the Slayers Guild, and since the Navy's.
Before that, yeah, he hadn't been down since prior to the Navy's arrival.
Personally, I don't think he's here, and I think if we didn't want to risk fighting, especially without all the other groups, we could probably just go back.
Also,
Honestly, yeah.
you don't necessarily think that Aranor would be the type to just attack you on sight. Like, even if he is here.
Yeah.
We'd probably be the one to bring the fight to him, if anything.
Yeah, this seems like it's, if anything, more of like an old hideout of his, possibly. Something of the sort. Maybe prior to, like, all of this properly starting and him, like, moving to the Crooked Tower. Of course, now with that sacked.
The possibility does lie he could have made his way back here, but I don't think he did.
Possible. But yeah, also, from what you understand of Aranor, and from your experience with him, he doesn't seem the type to pick fights. So, if he is here, then he'd probably be down to talk to you guys. But
Walk in for another friendly conversation.
I think
Only a
think
group
the
talk at this point.
the onus to starting a fight would lie with you guys,
And quite
unless you
frankly,
really pissed him off.
that would take probably a lot.
Probably.
If he's here, I'm not willing to start a fight.
As much as it pains me to say it, I agree.
I think starting a fight right now with how much stuff we're gonna be dealing with in the next couple of days will be probably a bad idea.
I don't want to jeopardize everything going on back in the town. Not only that, to see any of you die.
Seconded.
Aw. I'm also there.
For more
So-
than anything, I just want to come up here to see if he has any notes.
Yeah, that's... If this is his place, then finding research, notes, stuff like
Yeah.
what you'd like to see.
Okay. Sorry, internet cut out for like a solid
some value.
sec.
Yeah, weird.
Stream okay?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Alright, I think I might have to go off webcam for a second because everything just kind of crapped out.
No worries.
Fun. But yeah, it's climbing up the mountain. It takes you about 3 hours to even see the cave up in the distance. As you approach it, it's still a ways away, but you can see just a small pathway leading up along the side of this mountain up to this big opening, and it looks like a black iron door has been placed in the mouth of this cave.
Unsurprising. I'm gonna use Mage Hand to knock on the door.
Okay. You guys make your way up. It takes another good 45 minutes to actually reach it.
Oh, I didn't even. I thought we were at the door. Fuck.
You're good. Yeah, you guys reach it. It's about a 4-hour hike.
Holy shit.
How big of a door is it?
It's big.
Yeah.
Like, really.
Yeah, I didn't even know we were that far away still.
Yeah, it is like a pretty large cave mouth, and whoever lives here erected basically this giant, like, almost dwarven inspired, like, black iron doorway, and it's big. Whoever's in here has a flair for the grandiose.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna use Mage Hand to knock on the door first, just in case there's a trap.
Fair. You knock. And you don't seem to get an answer for a while, and then in all of your heads you hear, "I thought I had made it clear to the town that I did not want visitors. How many of you must I slay to get the message across? Or is it that you're with that naval detachment who refuses to leave?"
Neither.
We're actually from out of town. We're trying to get more leads on said Navy that won't go away.
And why do you come here?
We've heard a lot about you, whoever you are.
What did you hear that encouraged you to make this hike?
That you're the old one. You've been quite consistently visiting the town, and just so happened to stop visiting right around the time that the Navy came by.
What do you seek from the Navy?
Well, to be quite frank, their downfall. At least this very particular naval detachment.
Contract.
Yes, we're contractually obligated to.
And who is your contractor?
Jarrus Albridge.
There's silence for a time, and then you hear...
Works every time.
Dang, you really are a hermit.
Oh, this is classic wizard shit.
It is. Mage core.
Yeah. Drax says that, I'm like, no, this is like every mage back in my hometown. Just on a smaller scale.
After a solid minute of locks turning, you hear it stop, and the door cracks just a bit. It says, "You may enter if you'd like.
Thank you
Please
very
stay
much.
by the entrance."
Thank you very much for inviting us into your home.
You all open this door and enter this large cavern, to books lining all of the walls.
Oh god, he's a nerd.
Yeah, mage. You are warned. A cistern up above sheds light into this little living area, with full of shelves with vials and preserved specimens on it. There's a small sitting area with tea, like a cup of tea set on a little side table. But in the center, you see a large slab that currently has the body of an elk on it. And you can see that it has whatever experiment is being attempted with this. You see it is growing extra horns out of its neck and shoulders. And standing lonely in this light, in front of this elk, sort of standing at the slab, is a finely dressed man with crimson red hair and one large curled horn coming out of the right side of his head.
Is that Arnor? No, that doesn't look like Arnor.
Arnor didn't have red hair or a horn.
No.
Yeah,
shirt.
no.
Or a shirt. He was really shirtless the entire time, wasn't he?
He was really poor.
That kind of guy. He has his back to you, and he does not turn as all of you enter. He speaks and he says, "Why does the Slayers Guild seek to assassinate a naval vice admiral?"
Well, to put it plainly, she's murdering innocent civilians for a ritual.
This ritual, tell me about it.
Well, we've had quite a few encounters now. And every time a particular school of magic or study field of said magic picks about 10 spots nearest the crossings of the ley lines around the world, and either performs acts in relation to their school of magic. For instance, the first one we encountered was an evocation wizard, blowing up various spots in the City of Lind. Second time was Olimir's transmutation, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Second time was transmutation seemed to be erecting some sort of obelisks or golems of sorts around the city of... Was it in Targe?
Targe, yep.
Yeah. Around the city of Targe. Then the third time in the city of Kirika, a divination or... Enchantment. I know he also had a bunch of divination shit, too.
He did.
An enchantment wizard.
Hard to fully kit an enchantment mage with only enchantment spells.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. An enchantment wizard ended up luring 10 people to their death some of which I knew, but unfortunately he was the one we were not able to stop. To what end these rituals complete, I am not sure, but we know that there are 10 studies of magic that are being performed.
10 rituals. Mention of sacrifice. I've felt in the arcane weave on the new moon of each month. There is a surge of arcane power.
That's a new tidbit of information.
Somewhere to the south of here. In the sea, I believe. Just before each ritual, he motions over, still not facing you guys, he motions over to the right, and you see off to the side there is a scrying orb. He says, not long before each of these surges of arcane power, the Navy cart off some poor soul.
That was unfortunately my suspicion as soon as I heard people had been going missing. From what we can tell from the Navy performing this, the Vice Admiral is well versed in the study of animancy.
Animancy. Now that is an old school of magic.
Yes. Actually, that's another good point. The major we ran into previous to this contract was an evoker.
Even older. Fascinating. Who would create a continent-spanning ritual to perform whatever means they wish to perform, and use such ancient forms of magic?
Well, you're pretty old. You may know him. His name's Arnor.
Arnor. Lind, the king?
Yes, the very same.
Yeah.
At this point, he turns around, almost in disbelief at your story.
Completely dead-faced serious, all of us.
You see,
You're fucking
as
with
he
me.
turns,
You're fucking with me. I don't believe you. Get out.
you see as he turns, he's got a finely manicured goatee.
Oh, God damn it.
And bright, slitted red eyes.
No one mentioned the fucking demon eyes. They just said red eyes.
Well, you know.
He may be pulling them
He
out
was
for us.
probably, honestly, he probably was disguised.
To be fair, also, a lot of tieflings have
There are
eyes.
also a lot of tieflings in that town. What the fuck, Nevia? You didn't say anything.
Didn't come up. He says, you mean to tell me that the old legendary King Aranor Lind is still alive and performing, what, doomsday rituals?
Doomsday, I'm not entirely sure, but yes, the very same King Arnor.
Also taking away any possibility of a doomsday. Or really life as we know it.
I see. And the rituals happening here, they are part of this grander scheme.
I believe so, yes.
And they are being committed by the occupying Vice Admiral.
Mm-hmm.
Understood. Well, if you all dispatch of her and drive the Navy out of town, I would certainly be happy of it. I could finally go and restock. I'm running low on supplies.
What's been keeping you up here? The Navy?
I do not like to get involved with people that I do not know. I only let you in here because you offered fascinating information regarding something I was curious about. I have certainly no interest in the Lindian Navy poking and prodding at my home. It's better they don't know I even exist.
Okay.
Fair.
I respect that.
Well, I don't mean to poke and prod even more, but you're considered this old man to many of the people in the town. What are you exactly, or who?
If we are to make introductions, I would ask the guests to do so first.
Ivanoth. Ivanoth Goldscale.
Half Dragonborn. Fascinating.
Drac.
Looks at you, Calfor.
Gelfor. Hey. Did we meet, by the way?
Huh?
Who are we talking to?
We're about to find out.
The old mage on the mountain.
Yeah.
Okay, the hermit on the mountain. Okay.
It's not Aranor.
It's not Aranor.
I put my gun away.
Ibby. Ares. Yes. Another half dragonborn. Fascinating. I didn't realize you were so common.
Believe it or not very much.
And Nevia says, Nevia, I'm from Ciala. My father made, and she points over to, she says, oh, give him my regards. It's a lovely table. And he is distant from you, but he walks toward all of you. It's a fascinating group. Two half dragonborns, Tabaxi, Tenea, quite rare. And he walks up to you, Drac, and he's about Jarrus's height, so he's probably only about 2 inches shorter than you, thereabouts. He says, you are interesting.
Yeah, I know.
You're not Dragonborn.
No. Though a lot of people get it mixed up.
Who are you descended from?
Hell if I know. Literally all I was grown up with is a gnome and an orphanage. Well, not only that, but just I don't know, maybe a hand basket on the foot of those steps. So that's probably about all I remember from my childhood. That's in the cliff notes, at least.
What was your name again?
Drac.
I dislike casual names. What is your full name?
Dracul Plowguy.
And this orphanage you were raised in was in Targe?
Okay. Why are you taking so much interest in my personal life whenever you have been so standoffish about the end of the world?
Make an insight check on him.
Mhm.
Anyone can.
Sure. He's
Nat
freaking
20.
me out.
Nat 20.
You know what? I'm gonna let Drac have this.
Yeah, I did not get a nat 20, but it was high.
I'm not even gonna roll.
Drac, as this guy is probing you, you are very in tune with your emotions, being able to channel rage as you do. You can feel something boiling inside of him. And as the conversation goes on, you can feel it start to bubble over. Until you say your name and your full name, and that you're from the orphanage in Targe. You see it. He's quite good at hiding his expressions. Probably most things short of a nat 20, you would have no idea. But you are staring into this guy's eyes, and you're able to read him just well enough. And you see he goes to say something, and you notice that he's shaking a bit. And you know this feeling. You see him move quickly, and you bring up your arms because you're like, this guy's swinging. And you are taken aback as he wraps his arms around you and pulls you into a hug. And you guys, the rest of you, see that he has completely broken any veneer of apathy and noble pomp and circumstance. He is actively weeping. He says, "Oh, my boy. Oh, boy."
What?
And he looks up. He says, "Lyra, look it up, boy." And
Hey, no, you stop this right now.
I messaged Kelfor. Damn, he got to meet his dad before I got to meet mine again.
Same.
Oh, shit.
I'm clapping. I can't make fun of him being an orphan anymore. That's the saddest part.
No.
you push him away.
Just no.
He collects himself, tears still streaming down his face. My apologies. You shouldn't see me like that.
What do you mean? My boy? What do you mean?
He turns and walks back into the sort of open cistern area. And you see scales begin to overtake his arms, and his body morph and grow. And you see him turn and solemnly look at you as you now stare into the eyes of an ancient red dragon. My son,
You what? You what? Are you lost for words after all these years?
I am. Concepts of time are strange for me. It's 20 years to me feels like yesterday. I didn't realize until they're looking in your eyes how much 20 years is. After your mother, I couldn't bear the thought of my existence damning another loved one to death.
Oh, what did you leave her to?
He lowers his head, and you see him turn back into his human form. He says, I never once left your mother. She showed me that mortal kind is not something to fear or hate. It was my fault that she died. When you were born.
20 years ago, back in that town where they talked about you.
Indeed.
You killed all those people?
When you were born. We were so excited we didn't even consider that you wouldn't look like her, like this. When your mother gave birth to you and you came out with scales and horns, the doctors tried to attack you, saying you're the child of a devil. The doctors, I tried to protect both of you. I did. in my rage, I lost concentration on my disguise. And I released a small fraction of what I felt in my soul before I flew off, crossing the countryside and dropping you off as far away as I could so that you could hopefully be safe. I was panicking. If you knew any harm, I sincerely apologize. I did the only thing I could think of at the time. And I came here in the far corner of the world.
Why didn't you take me with you?
Because you deserved better than me. If I brought you with me, you'd be living in this stuffy old cave for your entire life. That's no way to live. I've been alive since before the genocide of our people. For 300 years, I have hidden, lived in fear of being detected. If there was a chance for you to live a normal life as a dragonborn,
A normal life. Yeah. Father knows best, doesn't he? No. I don't think so. No. I don't care what you say. Leaving someone like me, like this, out into the world without knowing anyone, what my body can do, being so alone. Sure, I made the odd friend here and there, but they're weird. They're great, but they're a bunch of weirdos, no offense, as I look over at everybody else.
that means like none taken.
I feel like I'm like.
Ivanhoe's looking at the floor, considering a lot of stuff about his own life.
I think it's extra rough because Ivanhoe. Boy, this guy looks a lot like you.
Others?
I am gripping Ares' hand really hard and like trembling.
Sending his character art.
Bruh. Oh, he's cool.
That's a good design.
Yeah, he looks like he would abandon a family.
Longest trip to get milk.
He says,
Fired.
liar! Says, I apologize for the pain you've known, but unfortunately, for people like us, there is never a normal existence. I have lived a life of solitude for hundreds of years. The fact that you no longer do speaks to me that I did not make the wrong decision all those years ago.
I don't know, maybe you did in having me. I mean, otherwise my mom would still be alive. What was her name? Lyra?
Yes. Willowwalk. Lyra Willowwalk. A name as beautiful and melodious as she was. I would do anything to have her back, to see her again, but I've tried. I've tried to bring her back, and it is exhausting.
It's
No.
bullshit there.
If you are here, I know that some part of her outside of myself live on, and that is enough for me.
I've got a lot to think about.
Of course.
I just need to go outside.
By all means,
I follow Drac outside.
Just hold up. Just give me a minute.
I message to you. I'm here if you need me.
And I just simply message back, I know. And I keep going.
I don't follow.
He'll look to you, Kelfor, before you leave. He says, he'll mage hand a book and hand it to you. He says, it's an old book I found. It's about animancy. Maybe it will help.
Thank you. But maybe I'll keep an eye on Drac as well. But thank you for your help. This is awkward. I'm gonna go.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
If he asks, it's Theros. My name.
I'll tell him if he asks. But probably the best thing you could do right now is not get in front of him.
I think that's for the best.
Well.
Well, this is a big pot of awkward.
Guilford is well.
You watch the Jets.
You turn to leave, and as the rest of you file out, you.
I would like to stick behind
Okay,
when it's
sure.
just me and him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll head out.
You see him.
I just messaged to them. I'll catch up.
You see him turn around, not realizing that you stayed behind, as he hears the door starting to creak close behind him. He just.
Excuse me, Mr. Theros.
Yes. He sort of tries to straighten himself up a bit more.
You don't have to remain formal around me. I know it's going to be a lot for Drac to process and for you to process as well. Whether or not you made the right decision, whether or not you feel you did or not, whether or not to Drac it was. I've been searching for my father for about 13 years. I didn't have the luxury of knowing him, or Drac didn't have the luxury of knowing you at all like I did my father for the first half of my life. The best thing you can do, even if it takes time, don't stay here alone.
I will consider that.
And for what it's worth, I've never met another person on this planet who felt like the sibling I never had. So thank you.
I'll walk up to you. Say, I thank you for your words. I'm glad my son has someone to offer such sage advice. I'm quite sure that you'll find your father as well. And say, we dragons. And he'll motion toward your golden scale. He says, we always find our way to gold, don't we?
That we do. I take his hands into mine and respectfully bow to him.
He'll bow back. A pleasure to meet you.
You as well, Theris. As I very solemnly walk out.
You guys head out, and you hear the door slam behind you. But as you're walking away, you don't hear it lock. And you guys make a quiet trip back down the mountain.
I didn't want to make the Omni-Man joke the whole time. The whole time in my head, it's like, what do you want me to say? You could have started with, I'm sorry!
Yeah. You could have started. No, dude. Oh man.
On the walk back down, I am right next to Drac, saying nothing, just being there for him.
I'm flying. Like
That's fair.
I'm getting a good view. Just have time to think.
Are you about to head towards the subway train?
Maybe with this you'll learn.
Yeah, you guys did get information on the rituals, knowing that they take place on the new moon of each month. Anyone who would like to could make,
Definitely.
I'd say, survival or nature for
Okay.
15.
I got 11.
15, 11. Kelfor, you know star navigation.
Mhm.
You don't really know like phases of the moon and stuff like that. Um, Ivanoth, you, as part of the Mages Academy, you, uh, lunar cycles are important in some branches of magic. Mostly druidic, but there are some arcane effects in certain schools of magic on phase of the moon. So you know when it happens. Just something you kind of unconsciously keep track of that was kind of put in your head from school. You know that the next new moon is the 21st of this month. It's currently the 10th.
We got 11 days before another victim will be taken.
Another victim will be sacrificed. That's when the ritual will happen. You don't necessarily know when a sacrifice will be taken.
11 days. We only have 5 until we can take down. When? Well, not 5. We only have until Friday, which is what?
3 days.
3 days.
So, I think we're still gonna be all right.
We gotta make the most of it.
Last thing we need to do now is to have another big moment like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really hope Drax's doing okay, because, man, that's rough.
As someone who never got to call my father outside the privacy of my own home.
I also see there's some... Forgot that we always have a lot of family issues around here.
A lot of
You got lucky!
daddy issues in this part.
Well, I would say you got lucky, but you are forcefully indebted to the Mafia, so I guess we all have our own bullshit.
But we'll all get through it just the same.
The best thing we can do is be there for Drek.
I think, just like before, going through something like this, I think having him hit something he needs to hit really hard is going to help him out.
I agree.
Well, we've got 2 big things for him to take his anger out on.
And
Definitely.
a boat.
And a boat.
Well, I think it's about time for us to probably head back down. So does that mean he ate the kids that went up there? Did he kill those kids?
You didn't ask? You didn't see any bodies or anything?
I doubt it.
I do too, but I'm just saying.
But
He doesn't
maybe-
strike me.
maybe ate them. Maybe used them for an experiment. Maybe just played a teleportation prank.
See you later, Bucko. Say hi in Shinwoo for me. What?
Have fun in Shinru. I'm sorry, what?
The fuck's a Shinwoo?
Yeah, you guys head back down and you meet back up with the Blackgate Company. They say, hey, we got some pretty interesting stuff. What'd you guys get?
Daddy issues.
Well, let's start with every ritual takes place on the new moon of every year. Or every month, rather, sorry.
That is very important, actually.
We were also able to get that.
That's good. Secondly, Don't ask Drac what happened in the mountain.
Okay.
I messaged
Did you-
to them. He found his dad.
Oh.
And it's a little rough.
He's gonna be brooding for a bit, but he'll be all right.
Best thing you can do is be there for him, and if he wants to hit something, let him hit it.
Unless it's you, you might want to
No,
avoid it.
maybe don't let him hit you.
Yeah, no. Zormir's like, I've gotten hit by a few daddy issue punches. They're not fun.
It's a good thing I can't throw a punch to save my life.
Said, we learned some similar stuff. We learned that they, the same thing with the new moon, and there are currently 8 completed rituals.
They're currently 8.
Yeah.
Okay. We're 2 away.
What did I walk back in on?
You're meeting up at the Black Eye Company again.
Cool.
Um,
Yikes.
yeah, there are 8 completed rituals, but a whole lot more than 8 people have gone missing.
I'm not totally surprised.
Yeah, I assume they just take any dissenters and then pick one to be a sacrifice and then just kill the rest.
Yeah. It's a win-win for them. Less resistance to the Navy and more sheep to their flock.
Yeah. But there was something interesting we were able to find. There's one of the people we talked to, one of the Sidorov family, Marvari. She's the apprentice smith in town, and apparently yesterday a Navy officer came to them and
No.
was looking for apparently a complicated repair job on something.
How often do smiths work on a ship?
It's
Not often.
usually only the
Tends to be harbor master kind of thing. They'll usually be like a harbor team, like harbor crew. Like a dock master will tend to handle ship repairs. Granted,
Also-
small town, maybe they could double dip just with the size of it. But usually they would say, hey, we need our ship repaired, and not say, hey, we have something that needs repairing.
It's either that or the robot.
That's what we were thinking. That apparently they offered to pay a handsome fee for repairs and to keep quiet about their work.
Yeah,
So
that sounds about right.
probably safe to assume they're looking to repair the Unmaker.
I would guess so. Well, maybe if... How long ago were they repairing him?
They just approached them yesterday, so according to Miss Marvari, she's not working on it. They only asked the head smith to do it. But apparently they were working on it today.
We can probably... I'm having an idea of either we can try to sneak and try to find out where they're being repaired at, and try to take out the Unmaker before we have to fight Gwen. Maybe conquer and divide.
I think that could be good.
Could be, yeah.
Especially if they're being repaired right now. The only issue is I don't want that blacksmith person to be in harm's way.
It's true.
Now, does the blacksmith hate the Navy?
Well, we haven't met them yet, but at the very least, their apprentice does. So,
Maybe we can try to figure out where... Talk to the apprentice and see if maybe they can give us a lead. Is only the mastersmith working on it?
yeah.
Okay.
They wanted as few hands on it as possible to avoid leaks.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else have any ideas of maybe what we should do?
I think recon would probably be the best route. Find some opportune spots to attack from.
Yeah.
Things inevitably hit the fan.
We also need to see if maybe we can try to locate where Gwen is as well. Do we have any
Yes.
information about that?
Nothing concrete, but we assume she's at the Longhouse, that the Navy has made their headquarters, if anywhere.
How many personnel?
A lot.
A lot, meaning would be reckless to go in with just this group.
Probably. I mean, we could probably take them, but
We would be
we'd
weak.
in the middle of town.
I mean,
So,
if we're only just needing to confirm that she's here, we probably don't need too many people, and the people who do go obviously need to be of the stealthier persuasion. Just kind of get in, figure out if she's here, and then get out.
it's true. Navi's also like, I also want to try and find Brayta. Need be a good rallying cry for if we do need to act in some way. But ideally, we draw them away from the city. I think that's the best way to avoid civilian casualties.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's dangerous, but we could, if nothing else, wait until the new moon and follow them out to sea and then attack.
But that new moon's going to be happening in 11 days, right?
Yeah,
So most likely we'll be following the ship of the line. So
that's true. It's either a tougher fight for us and keep Ciala safe, or an easier fight for us and maybe Ciala burns.
well, we're not going to make Ciala burn.
Be the first time we put ourselves out in the open in the lion's den.
It's true, but we saw how the Vice Admiral was. And something strikes me wrong with her.
I don't think she'll hesitate to kill civilians if need be.
Indeed.
I agree. Considering how nonchalant she took the life of Alfaro.
Yeah. Well.
I think heading out in the ocean would probably be the best, but I want us to at least be able to get something done here to maybe even make the fight a little bit better for us.
I say we get the fight going here, and then whenever we know that things are going to be fine without us, we head that way.
That is a viable
No
solution.
bad idea.
As long as Tiala doesn't burn, we can make sure it's safe.
I'm sure the Blackgate Company could do their thing again and probably help minimize any damage.
Yeah, for sure. But we're coming with you to fight, though.
Yeah. You have every
I
right to.
understand.
Just one thing I want to make sure is that they still have a home to go to, and also no civilians die. But maybe Sigmund can help us around with that, especially with distractions. We probably can lure Navy people outside.
Yeah.
Did we? I know we are going against their line ship, the big ship. Are they taking their other ships in this port?
The cigarette boats?
Yes. Is it just cigarette boats?
No, there's one cigarette boat, there's a frigate, and then there's a couple other smaller ships like schooners, a brig. It seems like a lot of them are for cargo,
Okay.
transit, stuff like that.
Does the frigate have any, is it combat ready?
It seems to be. No, granted, you guys just fought a frigate, and that went pretty well. You could say.
Well, my idea was we let the fight happen as we go out to sea to confront the Vice Admiral. Whenever they have the upper hand here, Sigmund could gather a crew, potentially take that frigate out to help us.
Oh, that's not a bad idea at all.
Another thing I was thinking we could do, when the ship of the line is coming back on Friday, it's going to be getting repairs. We could sabotage some of those repairs.
Yeah.
Could certainly try to.
Or at least maybe even plant something
Thermite?
I don't know. Hypothetically, thermite.
Maybe even a pebble, let's just say.
Maybe both.
But we could also sabotage it so that ship could also have a lot of issues in the middle of the sea where they think they'll have the upper hand. We could fuck around.
It's true.
So I'm thinking what I'm hearing right is guerrilla tactics for now.
Yep.
Seems like the smart play.
And then
Then as soon as we get the upper hand, we go for the Admiral.
okay.
You guys are walking back toward the inn or the tavern to get some rooms, just get set up. And as you approach the center of town, where the tavern is, you guys see a few naval soldiers walk up to you, say, "Excuse us, We don't get. Do you do that?
No, not yet because we can't fucking start shit.
We don't get many travelers here in town. Did you all register with the harbor master when you all talked? I don't see your ship anywhere.
We didn't come via ship. We walked back from that way.
You walked?
Yeah, it's a dirt path for a reason.
How many Navy officers are there?
It's about 6 of them.
You don't take a boat on these trails. Wouldn't you know that? Wouldn't they teach you that in the Navy?
And he has like a little ledger book, and he's like, I'm sorry, maybe I'm confused here. You're not registered in the local registrar. None of you are citizens of Ciala.
Yeah, because we're not.
And you walked from the mountains?
Yes.
Yep.
There's nothing out there.
No.
We've done surveys.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. There's nothing out there. It's a
We
good
came
walk.
Past the mountains to here. Have you gone further out past the mountains?
Well, we've mapped the entire coast of the subcontinent. This is...
Coast. You're focusing on the coast. We came further
There's
out from
nothing
the coast.
inland. Am I being...
No, like here, and I'll like point at the map and everything, and then
Yeah.
Honestly,
say
we're not-
I think this is going great. I love this confusion tactic so much.
Listen.
and then, go ahead,
Listen,
Drac.
it's not so much as inland, it's just you're going upland. And as you keep going upland, and I go on a tangent of like how you keep going up the land and you just do that, and I'm just going down a rabbit hole of just isms.
The guy's like trying to follow along. He's like, I'm...
And then you get to the Rocky Pass, and that right there, I mean...
no, we know the Rocky Pass. That's that.
Yeah?
That part.
Okay, so
But then you go further upland of it.
yeah,
There's just more mountain up there. There's no.
I'm letting you know there's more. I mean,
what's the last time you guys did your survey? Like, if you don't mind me asking.
It was when we first arrived, so probably finished it 4 months ago.
Oh, 4.
That's going great.
You missed out. Yeah, we have a new settlement like near the mountains, like that we have got together 3 months ago.
Make a disadvantage.
Can I get Drax assistance?
yeah, of course. I
Because
mean,
he's thinking we're going upland.
the town is named Upland, and that I add that on for my. The town is named.
Give you disadvantage for the help.
It's worth the bit. It's worth the bit.
14. I'm also setting this up, waiting to see if anyone's gonna like get around and be like, okay, now attack.
He says, "Right, okay. Could you?" And he like pulls out the map and he's like, "Could you show me where the settlement is?
Yeah.
Just
And
so we can go and."
Fully understand. No. And I'll put my hand on his back and I'll like lean in to the to the map and I'll look at everyone and be like, it's like it's right here, right? Like we came over here, like near like the little alcove there, towards like the mountain pass, right there on the ridge.
How many are there again?
Let's see.
Six.
There's about
Six.
6 of them.
I take a look around for a second. Anyone else doing anything at the moment?
You're in the middle of town. There are a lot more naval officers around and a lot of civilians around as well.
Yeah.
One of the naval officers steps over and like pushes down his map. He says, "That's not why we're here.
Oh. What's up?
Y'all are with the Slayers Guild."
If we
Yes.
are.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
The Vice Admiral wants a word with you. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Yeah.
Dang. Dang it.
I like how you just stood there for all that. Like, guys, what are we doing?
Yeah, what's happening here?
I'm like trying to keep the conversation going and like, all right, yeah, it's there.
Guys, shoot him, guys.
I will start it if need be, but I need to make sure.
Honestly, there were two mindsets in Drax's head. It was either just like, no, go on, Kelfor, show him where it is, and just like literally just keep the bit going. Either that, or I was gonna.
thinking it's like you guys were trying to like lead them up to Theris's lair so he could like kill them or something. Like, full of
I
fucking...
told you
I
we were
did
gonna
think
do it
that,
again.
I did think about that, and Drax probably would have thought of that, but he's also like in a weird headspace with that.
Yeah.
Send your dad some gifts. It'll be fun.
Yeah. But no, it was either keep talking or uppercut him through the map,
Yeah.
and then just go balls to the wall. But
All right, Matt, send us out.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I maybe, but doubt I'll be available next week. I'm working a music festival, and I still haven't gotten my schedule for it yet. So it's possible I'll be working like the morning on Thursday or something like that. But we'll see. I'll keep y'all updated, but it is possible that I won't be able to make it next week. So we can, at the very least, pick it back up the week after. Yeah. Until then, we'll see you next time. See whose dad we meet next.
Spoiler
Will it be
alert.
Ivanov?
Spoiler alert. It's Kelfor.
That
That'd
would
be
be
a twist.
shopping.
That'd be a twist.
Nevian.
Next week.